Hey y'all, it's your girl Kia Cole and I'm back with a video. So what is up? Today I am going to be talking about the Nyc Wholesale for accessories mostly, but fear not, if you are looking for anything other than accessories, I will be dropping some information about what I saw and the things that I found. So stay tuned, do not click away from this video. If you are new, just make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell so you can see any videos that I post. You'll be the first one to know about it. So for anybody who's new here, I am doing a series on videos for small business owners, whether it be wholesale, tips and tricks on Instagram and things like that. So if you haven't recently seen one of my videos, a year ago I posted where I went to the LA Fashion District, and you know it's kind of tricky because of COVID right now. So I will also be letting you guys know any COVID restrictions and things like that when it comes to purchasing and shopping at these stores. So if you haven't checked out the LA Fashion District video, that link will be posted right up here in the link above. So make sure you check that out. And I also have a video if you are planning to do any pop-up shops. That video is booming right now, and I'm not just saying that. Make sure you go and check that out as well. I will also post that in the comments up in the link up here above. So let's just jump right into it. So I recently went to New York, and I have been dying to go to New York for the longest just to shop for wholesale, and I finally got the opportunity to do that. And it was pretty cheap, so this was a good time because, as you know, a lot of the flights are cheap right now. I live in the South Florida area, so the flight going and coming round trip was only $100. This was on JetBlue for both ways, and it was a basic flight. The hotel was only $154, so it was a very cheap trip, I would say, because I have paid more for different trips before. But yeah, to go there, it was fairly cheap. Now, when you get to the airport, I would not say catch an Uber or Lyft because that was around $80 to get to my hotel, and I think it was like an hour ride. A cheaper way you could do is by catching the air train that is at the airport, and the air train would take you to the subway, and you're supposed to get off subway E, the area that I stayed in Times Square. That was only like a $10 ride, and they said it was going to take like an hour or 2 hours, but it wasn't even. It went by very fast. So that was probably around 40-minute ride to Times Square. So this is also good information for anyone who is just going to travel to New York and you're not really going to the wholesale area. Do not take a Lyft because it is super expensive, unless it's like a group of you and you're splitting it like between 4 people. Then hey, to each his own. But if you're looking for a cheaper route and you're trying to save money, so yeah. Now, we left Friday morning, so my flight left at 6 a.m. and we got there around 9 a.m. Just so we could start early, bright and early. I would say if you are planning to shop on the same day, maybe fly in the night before, go to sleep, wake up, and then start shopping, because we lost about 2 hours. We didn't get to start until like 12 o'clock. Because of like getting from the airport to the hotel and then checking into the hotel. We were able to check in, thank God. They had a room available for us, so we were able to check in. All of these stores in this area are located on Broadway between, I believe it's like 30th and the lowest will probably be 24th or 25th Street. So it could range between anywhere in those areas, and then they could also be on different blocks. So, but once you see one store, you'll know, okay, this is where it's at. I'm in the right area. I'm going to compare a lot of things to LA because that's where I went recent. Well, that's the most recent that I know for shopping wholesale. So when it comes to comparing it to LA, I didn't see a lot of clothing stores. There were some clothing stores, but to me it looked kind of flea market-ish. Like my cousin, the first thing she asked me was, how was it? Did you see anything? And for anybody who owns a boutique for clothing, I would probably say stick to LA. Don't go to New York because you won't see a lot of things. Now, if you're somebody who sells sweatshirts and sweatsuits and shirts, then maybe you can go there, but I don't think it's even worth going. But I didn't see anything that looked quality. But I wasn't really looking for clothing, so maybe you might find something. If you're looking, you could probably go check it out, or do your research first before you get there and make sure you know what stores you want to go to. I know you could also probably go on FashionNova, and you may find some stores that say New York, so then you could probably just get their address and go there. But I would say if you're looking for clothes, do your research first before you go. The other thing that to compare to LA has about 4 or 5, maybe 6 accessory stores. For me, they're nice stores, don't get me wrong, but in New York, it was like on every single next door, one on this block, one on that block. So that's what I loved about being in New York. I've seen probably 15 to 20 accessory stores that I can go in and shop. They have everything from stainless steel, sterling silver, gold fill, probably gold plated. They have fashion jewelry. They have like regular rhinestone jewelry, gold jewelry. So you can find all types of things. I know versus down here, we have a lot of gold filled stores. So, but it was a big variety of everything. Now, a lot of questions that people ask is, do you need a business permit? Do you need a business license? Some stores, yes, some stores, no. You'll know as soon as you get in there, either they'll just say wholesale on the door only, or when you walk in, they'll say, have you shopped with us before? Do you have a business permit? Now, don't be scared if they say, have you shopped with us before? They just want to know, because then you'll already be familiar with the routine of how it goes with shopping in their stores. Now, when it comes to if it's a store that doesn't have a permit, if they don't ask for a permit, they're going to say, okay, the more money you spend, the more money you save. They may not even ask you if you're wholesale because they offer retail as well. Like one store I went in, all of their prices were super low. But then they had a sign up there, if you spend $100, you save 10% off. If you spend $250, you save 15% off. It does say wholesale on the top of it, but anybody can spend that and I believe save that amount of money. So that was really good. A lot of stores also mentioned that paying cash, you may receive a higher percentage off than if you were paying with a credit card. So that's another thing. Maybe you want to carry cash with you so then you can get a better discount. Some stores said that, okay, well, if you do wholesale, you have to spend $200, but then you also have to have 6 pieces of each thing. So let's say if I go in there and I say, hey, I want to get this necklace and I want to do wholesale. Or if you're buying all of these necklaces, you got to spend up to $200, but then you got to buy 6 of each necklace that you're purchasing. So that's another thing that you're going to look out for when you go and purchase. They're going to say, okay, yeah, you could buy, but you have to spend this amount to save this amount of money. One store I went in, she was like, okay, well, you have to spend a lot of money or buy a lot of pieces in order for me to give you that price. If you don't, then I'll have to give you this other price. So they have different prices that they're going to give you depending on if you're doing wholesale or retail. The store did have a membership. I know it's a store in LA that does have a membership. They do the same thing. They gave me a cute little card. I signed up in the iPad, and I don't know if they're gonna like send me new arrivals or things like that or emails, but they did have a membership. And that one store was the only store when I walked in, he asked for my permit, but I had to give it to him right away. I couldn't walk around, I couldn't lie and say, yeah, I got a permit, and then you get in there and you just want to see. No, he wanted to see it right before I walked in his store. Other stores didn't do that. They just say, well, if you have a permit, then go ahead, you can shop. They don't care. But best believe when it's time to check out, you do have to present that information. Looked it up. I looked up some stuff on TikTok, Instagram. They have all the information. Just hashtag it and you can find it. A lot of them, somebody said that some of the stores are on the street, some of them are not, so you may find them hidden. Now, I think the only way you'll know if it's a hidden store is if you probably contacted them online and then you found their address. But I didn't have time to look for all of the hidden treasures and the hidden stores. I just did whatever was on the street, so that's what I found. When it comes to the hours, a lot of them said they're open 7 days a week. If it's somebody who does strictly wholesale, 9 times out of 10, they don't open 7 days a week. They're either closed on the weekends or they're closed on Sunday. Who did say that they were open 7 days a week, their hours went up to 6 or 6:30, which was really good because some stores in LA and Miami, they only stay open till 5 or 5:30. So yeah, if you're checking it out, I believe they open like at 10 o'clock in New York and they close at 6:30, or they may close at 5. I know one store when we went on Saturday, they closed at 1. So you want to make sure that you check that out before you go, so then you'll have your hours and you know, okay, I'm able to do this, this, and that, and that. I finished shopping. A lot of the stores, I asked them, can I leave my bag there so I don't have to carry it around with me? This all depends on if you're going to ship your items back home or if you're going to carry it with you. I know in LA, this is something that we did a lot. The first time I went to LA, I shipped my stuff back, but then I realized that my bags are not that big, and the items that I purchased things, but in each store it wasn't enough for me to ship. So I kind of wasted money on shipping, and I learned that the first go around was that, okay, I probably could have just purchased a suitcase and then took it back with me as a carry-on, which is what I did when I went to New York. Some of the stores do ship. You can ask them, hey, do you ship? And they'll say, yeah. If it's a store that's like a little hole in the wall mom pops and they just selling stuff. Like I went to one store and her prices was up there, but then once I started saying, give me 5 of these, give me 10 of this, then that's when she said, okay, her prices got lower. And you could bargain with some of them, but some of them, if they already have their price and they're strictly wholesale, then you ain't gonna be bargaining. It's only whatever you spend, you're gonna get your discount. A way to save money, one of the ways to save money is, so let's say if you go to a store and you visit 5 stores. So every store you purchase something, and then you say, okay, I'm gonna ship out all of my items from each store. So the shipping could range anywhere between $30 to $50, depending on the weight, the size, and all of that stuff. So in order for you to save some money, what you can do is, what I did, I purchased a suitcase, like a small carry-on suitcase. I think it was 22 inches or 20 inches. And you just go to one of those stores that they have a whole bunch of suitcases. You can't go to the ones that have the souvenirs and then like 5 suitcases. You have to go to the ones that have strictly suitcases. And you purchase a suitcase, and the suitcase is only like $30 to $40, $45, $50 max. So now you just save money. You're gonna put all of your items in there, depending on how much you buy. Now, if you go up there and buy a whole bunch of stuff, then this may not work for you. But I had enough to put everything in my suitcase, so that was perfectly fine. I only spent $50. But I did have to pay to check the bag. But how they did it on JetBlue is that you have to pay to change your seat, because I guess on their plane certain areas calls for certain criteria. I don't know. I just thought any airline that you go to, you could just buy a carry-on and that's it. But apparently JetBlue changed their rules and procedures, so I had to pay an additional $76 to change my seat, which was up to the front. I was like 5A, and then that way I can carry on the bag. So any other airline, it may be different. You may just have to pay to carry it on, but that is another option if you don't want to pay for shipping at every single store that you go to. But they were nice. They held all of my bags. Each store I went to, I just asked, hey, can I hold my bag until I come back here? And they held it. They gave me like a little paper, or you could just show them your receipt. They may remember your face, and that way they can hold it so you don't have to walk around and everybody notice that you're shopping and you don't get robbed or whatever. So that may be easier if you just ask them, can you hold the bags at their location? I would also say when you go in these stores, ask them for a business card, but then also probably staple that business card to your bag so that you can remember where you got it from, because when you do the whole suitcase thing, you may get it mixed up and you may forget which stores you purchased it from. But ask for a business card, even for later references. Also ask them, do they have a WhatsApp number? A lot of these businesses communicate through WhatsApp. You build a relationship and they can send you new arrivals whenever they get them in. I know this is a lot easier for clothing companies, but when it comes to accessory companies, I guess if you're someone who purchases a lot from this company, you will build a better relationship. But a lot of the businesses that I have WhatsApp numbers with, they barely contact me. Or if it's one new arrival that I really want, then I'll write them and say, hey, do you have this item in stock? That is very big in LA when it comes to the WhatsApp. But when I asked them in New York, a lot of them, I think one person said, yeah, we got a WhatsApp, but I don't think they barely use it. I think you'll have to already know what's the item that you want, and then they'll tell you yes or no if they have it in stock. It's not for them to come to you and say, oh, here are my new arrivals. I guess they pop in that much that they don't have time to build that kind of relationship. Now with the mask, you do have to wear a mask in every single store. You do not need to be vaccinated. They didn't ask for that in no vaccination cards. However, if you're going to eat, to dine in, you do need a vaccination card. One morning, me and my mom went and got some like breakfast sandwiches. It was a little cafe, but it wasn't like a little tiny cafe. They had seating inside and outside, but she did ask if you were dining inside that you had to show your vaccination card. Now, I don't know if it matters if you have one shot or both shots, but they did ask for the vaccination card, but that was the only place that they asked for it. Everywhere in New York, they're walking around with masks. walking around with masks in the stores. You have to have a mask on in the store. So those are some of the things, but I believe only in restaurants you have to show your vaccination card. We went in Target, they didn't ask for that. Like, I don't think other stores have time to really ask you for a vaccination card. But when it comes to dining, you do have to show your vaccination card. But other than that, like for me, I would strongly prefer New York over LA. I know it's crazy because LA is so nice and pretty, but it's fun, it's cute. If you're somebody who sell clothes and accessories, then I would say probably go to LA. But if you just sell strictly accessories, I would say you can go to New York. Now, I forgot to mention that when it comes to handbags, I did find about 2 or 3 handbag stores. However, the bags that they have are not up-to-date bags. Like, they're probably older bags, and then you got some grandma looking bags or some totes. But it wasn't like the popular style bags like they would have in this one store in LA. So I would say only if you're doing like jewelry, you could probably do New York. But, and also with shoes, I didn't see a lot of shoe stores. I saw mostly jewelry, mostly like the sweatshirts, t-shirts, but I didn't see any shoe stores. I saw a bare minimum of handbag stores, but they're not popular, so you're probably better off purchasing it online. Yeah. But my preference for sure will be New York over LA. I will be going again. I did enjoy the trip. It was very nice. It was cold like the first day, but the second day it wasn't cold anymore. The sun was out, but it's very easy to get around. Everything is in the same location. I will be posting the video next week about purchasing dupes. I have an area where you can go to purchase dupes, and I did purchase a few bags or a few items. So stay tuned for that video. It will be posted next week. For those who are wondering about my shirt, I am going to be selling some new graphic tees. They will be posted on my site either this week or next week. So stay tuned for that. This one says CEO. I am super excited. I thought this was really cute. All of my shirts have different sayings, so look out for that. The website is right here below, and you can go ahead and shop with your girl. But other than that, if you guys have any comments or questions about anything that I probably didn't mention, or you're concerned about anything, feel free to drop your comments in the comment section, your questions in the comment section below. I'm like an open book. I don't mind answering questions. I will have a vendor list coming out soon. In some of these clips, you will see some vendors, so make sure you write them down. But I will be posting a vendor list very, very soon for sale before Black Friday, so you guys can purchase that. Feel free to make sure you follow your girl if you're interested in vendors lists. If there are any other videos that you want to see as a small business owner, feel free to also comment that below, because I'm looking for more content. I'm looking for more content to post for you guys. So let me know what other kind of videos you want to see, what other information you want to see. I am an open book. I'm here for you guys. So whatever mistakes I have that I made, you don't have to make those same mistakes. But other than that, I hope you guys are feeling this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Peace.